Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
Now is the peak of season for dayboat scallops, and we're serving them fresh at Bonefish Grill. Caught daily off the coast of New England and delivered to our restaurants, these gems of the sea are the perfect way to welcome in summer. They're wood-grilled until golden over an oak fire, then placed on a bed of creamy risotto and topped with crispy bacon and our homemade lemon butter sauce. Total indulgence. Our fresh dayboat scallops are only here for a short time, so come into Bonefish Grill today before they're gone.
Preppers Asylum is the premier preparedness outfitter. They carry in stock and ship direct the products you're looking for. MREs, freeze-dried food, Kelly kettles, water filtrates, first aid and trauma kits, stoves, personal protection, self-defense supplies, and more. Preppers Asylum are people just like you and I. Find what you're looking for and use promo code PBN at checkout to receive 10% off. That's promo code PBN for 10% off at preppersasylum.com.
You've just joined the Prepper Broadcasting Network, where we promote self-reliance and independence. The views and opinions expressed are strictly those of the host or their guests. Visit us in the interactive chat room at prepperbroadcasting.com.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing great out there. Welcome to the Prepping Academy. My name is Forrest Garvin. It is Friday, July 15th, 2016. This is the Prepping Academy worldwide premiere show. Thank you for joining us. Again, my name is Forrest Garvin. I will be the host every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be producing a live broadcast. Yes, live. Yes, this is my first radio show. Yes, first time live ever. Hey, if you stop by to listen to I Am Liberty by James Walton, he has moved to Wednesday nights. Same time, but Wednesday nights. So be sure to join him on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I asked you to stick around for my show, The Prepping Academy. If you're on Blog Talk Radio, I ask you to jump over to prepperbroadcasting.com where you can chat with us live. We have a chat room that is live. People are chatting, and you can be one of the members there and even chat your question to us. If you're a friend or family, I do ask you to kind of put a name so I know who you are, so I can mute you immediately. You can also call in and listen at 347-202-0228. You can just use your cell phone, your phone, dial in and listen. With that same number, 347-202-0228. You can also ask me a question. Just press 1. You'll get in the queue. and we will take your questions live on the air. If you, I ask you to give me some slack. Again, my first time live, so I didn't tell many of my friends and family members about this because that would be rough. My goal is to bring you a fully interactive show every Friday night to talk about preparedness, prepping, survival, news, just about anything in that realm. I also like to thank the show host on Prepper Broadcasting Network for welcoming me. They've had me on their shows, talked about my show. I really appreciate them promoting my show. Monday night, you can go and listen to Survival and Tech Preps. Highlander was gracious enough to have me on Monday night. We talked a little bit about my background, which we're going to talk about tonight, but he has a great show, and you should join him. And he's live on Monday nights. So with me tonight, I have a very special friend. His name is Kyle. Kyle and I, we both live in the Carolinas. Kyle is going to kind of help me kick this off because doing something by myself is pretty frightening. So we're going to, this show again is about prepping, survival. Kyle and I, we've known each other for a couple years. We actually go to church together.
Yep.
And I'm hoping he can guide me, and we'll get through this.
There will be no hand holding.
No hand holding. The awkward thing is I have to sit across the table from Kyle, so we're literally 2 feet from each other. And I have to stare at him, which is not pleasant.
There's a tolerable amount of beard envy going on right now, so it's okay. It's okay.
So, world, I wanted to kind of introduce myself and why I felt that it was necessary to do a radio broadcast. I wasn't really enthusiastic about doing it live, but I was sent Tom from American Prepper Network an email, and discussion started. He referred me to the G-Man, to the Prepper Broadcasting Network, and one thing led to another, and now I'm sitting in my studio talking live throughout the world, which is very frightening, but exciting. So, Kyle, tell us a little bit about yourself, then I'm going to go in a little depth about myself.
You're going to go more in depth by yourself,
yes.
Definitely this week. Just a little bit about myself. I've been an active prepper for, at least about 15 years. No fancy military background, no super, advanced training and anything. Just a very awake person. Studied economics, politics, society, big history buff. That's pretty much it as far as my level of, what I get into as far as prepping. But I am definitely probably one of the most hardcore preppers. I was part of a website back in the day, back when a lot of people remember Doomsday Preppers first coming on the air. I was part of some of those folks in there, knew some of them personally, told some of them not to go on the show.
They didn't listen, did they?
They didn't, and then they unfortunately kind of made a mockery of what some preppers are today. That's a quick synopsis about me.
Well, Kyle, he said he was not military, but he gets asked on a daily basis if he's a Navy SEAL, just because he looks the role. You always say no, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't whenever I hear someone say that. Okay. So obviously aren't. They're wearing fatigue.
Right.
They're sagging their pants and obviously out of code. But
if you see Kyle on the street, you wouldn't mess with him. He just looks bad, but he's not.
No. I just look that way to avoid, any unnecessary conversations.
He also, I know many preppers, and I would say, have a great knowledge in many areas in prepping, which a lot of people will focus on one thing, but you've been doing this a while, and I can tell, because that's why we talk and we're friends, because it's easy to talk to you about things because you understand when I'm trying to design a perimeter around a retreat. You exactly know what we're talking about and what we need to do and the reason why. And a lot of preppers don't get that. They're still working on their bug out back.
Yeah.
So, well, I was going to tell you, again, my name is Forrest, and it is not Gump. That movie drove me crazy. Once that movie came out, I became stupid and liked chocolate.
Yeah.
But I do get to eat at the restaurant, Bubba Gump Shrimp restaurants, for free. They always let me eat for free when I show them my ID, so that's pretty cool. But I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Kyle, you can ask, or I can just kind of go in. I have some notes here.
Well, first, why don't we tell everyone where you grew up?
I grew up in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, which is in the mountains, the heart of the mountains of North Carolina. If you ever watch Popcorn Sutton and the Hillbillies and the Moonshine, yes, that was all there. It was a good place to grow up there because it was in the mountains. I mean, we had a fireplace, a wood stove. We heated our hot water with the wood stove. I chopped wood many times, like weekly, when I was a young lad in the mountains. I went camping. I would go camping for weeks, even though I was less than few football fields from the house up the mountain. I would be camping with my friend, a guy named Todd, and we would literally move in up there and stay. And I would actually ride my lawnmower. I hadn't ridden a lawnmower. We would put everything on a trailer and take it up there. And it was, we felt like we were in the middle of nowhere. But, and so the outdoors, loving the outdoors, hiking. And I grew up in a family hardware business, which was amazing. One summer I would paint houses. The next summer I would mow lawns. The next summer I would be doing all kinds of things, fixing people's toilets or whatever. So it was a good environment, good basic common sense knowledge I gained from that. So that's kind of where my childhood.
Well, your childhood. Now I know you have a little bit of a military history. If you want to get into that.
Military, man. I'm ex-C. No, I'm kidding. I was in the United States Air Force. I went to college for a couple years. Needed to find myself. Joined the Air Force. I was trained in avionics and radar and Doppler, mostly fixing them, technician. Traveled the world. Went to 21 different countries in 4 years. Had the opportunity to be in a special operations group. Not completely full-time, but it was a SAL 2 unit, which SAL is special operations, low level, 2 is at night, and C-130 is at a Pope Air Force Base. That was exciting. Saw some of the baddest men alive. And my job was really make sure everyone could communicate between home base, all the different military personnel to even different countries, made sure we could all, in exercises and real world scenarios, made sure everyone could communicate. But after 4 years, I found myself and was ready to get out, and I did.
And you're still kind of into that. You're probably one of the few preppers I know that's hardcore on communication. That's really big for you.
Yes. I'm not saying I'm good at it, but I like to teach. I went to college to be a history education teacher, and the technology world found me. Ended up working at First Union, the Bank of America. Was one of the first web people ever hired by Bank of America. No, Nations Bank. This was in '93. When I went there, I actually put our first website for a major bank on the internet. So I hit the technology field early. Went through technology for years, started a few companies, sold a few companies, closed a few companies. But what really changed, and kind of getting to my prepping, what really changed is in 1999, September of 1999, I am here at Bank of America managing a ton of people, managing their, a lot of the aspects of their internet. And one of my best friends was the chief technology innovator for a major power company in the Carolinas. Huge. And Y2K, we were at the bank, we were way ahead of that. We were programming, making sure we had the programmers, making sure we were almost completed testing in September. And we've actually 95% of our technology, we checked it off saying done. And he was at a major energy company, and I asked him how it was going. Excuse me. He said, Forrest, it's not going very well. We cannot find programmers to help us change some of the code. And I'm thinking, you've gotten 2 nuclear plants within 20 miles of my house, and you can't even get it programmed. You should be through testing right now. So that day is when I became a prepper. And so I was the Y2K birth child. I went out and bought toilet paper. I mean, that's the first thing you're going to need. I don't know why. But toilet paper, we put bottled water in the freezer. We bought extra of everything. We would have survived about 3 weeks max.
So like a good Carolinian, you probably had at least 5 gallons of milk and 12 loaves of bread as well with toilet paper, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We just, I didn't know anything about it. I just thought, hey, if I had some salsa and chips and some bananas and some little milk and bread, we're good. Power's never gone off past a couple of weeks or, like when Hurricane Hugo happened. So, we would have died. So that's kind of how I got started prepping. One thing I did want to mention. So once I started prepping, I started also studying end times in the Bible. This is not a religious show, but I started reading the end times, Revelation, Daniel, Ezekiel. You guys know what I'm talking about. And in every instance, no matter how you look at the end, it tells us it's going to get really bad for believers. And through the years, since 2000, in reading and studying that, I'm like, well, you know what? If it's going to get really bad, I think I need to do something about that. I need to be ready for that. And that actually helped me kick my prepping into a new gear because I had a different motivation. Before it was just kind of to save my family, but now it's kind of like I feel like I was obeying what the Bible taught me. So it was actually a different motivation. Took it more serious, spent more money, tried to get more skills. So that's kind of my history of how I became a prepper.
Now, go into it a little bit how you and I met, because I think you're early on whenever we first met. I met you. I know we met at church. I met you briefly. I know you were having another conversation with someone else about some prepping. I came up with a quick comment, and you came back up to me. You kind of have that universal symbol of how you identify a prepper now.
Yep. Well, I'm going to back up a little bit further than that. So I was a closet prepper. I admit it. I was a closet. I needed help. I couldn't find anyone to help me. I was a forum fanatic. I had some incredible relationships with, Dog Talk, with, Pikes Peak, all these aliases that I have no idea who they were. They were some of my best friends, and it was lonely. I mean, you just can't form relationships through forums. And, my wife didn't like to talk about it. I didn't have any friends in this arena that were preppers. So about a little over 2 years ago, I started a meetup group. and called it the Carolina Preppers Network. We had our first meeting at Fuddruckers, which was so loud we could barely hear each other because there were kids playing video games. And that's how I really kind of, came out of the closet. I was with the 6 members. They still are active today. And that's when I finally decided that I was going to share, communicate, tell people what I was doing. Because before that, I became I wanted to learn about guns. So to learn about guns is the best thing to do is become an instructor. So I took all the NRA classes, and then I took the instructor classes and became an NRA instructor. And then at that time at my church, you couldn't really carry a gun because there was a school in there. And I'm like, well, what's going to happen if someone comes in? So I decided to learn some hand-to-hand combat. So again, I'm OCD. I wanted to find one of the best Krav Maga instructors in the world. So I looked to Israel, and so my teacher is in Israel. It was the weirdest thing. I would do videos, send it to him. He would comment, tell me what I should do different, and he would come to America, 6 times a year, and I would go and meet him and spend a lot of time with him, and I would come back black and blue. But what I really focused on was gun, knife, and stick defense because I felt that that's what could kill you. Not many people die from a fist fight. They die from knives, they die from guns, and maybe a blunt force object. And so that's kind of what I focused on. And to the point that I have certificates that I can teach. Then all during this time as well, this is all before I came out of the closet. I'm just doing this, and I can't share this with anyone. Then I took survival classes, became an instructor in survival, so I could teach it. And so I finally, like I said, came out of the closet, started the meetup group. I started my prepper academy that I have. It's a survival academy. It is called Carolina Survival and Preparedness Academy. It's based in Charlotte, North Carolina. The URL to that is carolinapreparedness.com. We teach a wide variety of classes, from firearms training, everything in the firearms arena, NRA. Then we go to outdoor wilderness preparedness, bug out bags, food storage, family preparedness. I do consulting, and so that I've been building that business for the past few years.
And correct me if I'm wrong. It's not just for beginners; it's also for people who might be even in profession like law enforcement.
Yes, I've had 2 classes last year that was nothing but law enforcement. One police officer called me and said, "Hey, I've got 12 of my friends that would like to take a basic outdoor survival class," and he actually brought 17, and we, for a whole half day, I trained them on, basic, just your normal basic survival class. From that, I had another one. A guy said, "Hey, my brother-in-law was a police officer, different county, different city, and he brought 9 guys, and I added some other people with that and taught them as well. And I've been getting more calls, but I do remember your question. I'm getting to it. Excuse me. So I started the meetup. I started wearing my little bracelet, my little paracord bracelet. I said, you know what? It's time to be seen as a prepper. Not that that's the international sign for being a prepper, but it's sure you understand they're either someone that likes to hike, they're outdoorsmen, they could be a hunter. You can almost guarantee that you have a few things in common.
It's conversation piece. So I started wearing that. Started wearing my little khaki hat with my American flag on it.
the Velcro patch. I wanted people to know and wanted them to come up and ask me. I didn't carry around my bug out bag on my back or anything like that. But and I saw you in church, and you had this I think you had the same hat you got on right now.
No, I don't wash it.
You don't?
No, I swear I do wash it.
That's disgusting. But it's like a skull. I don't even know what it is.
It's Punisher logo.
It's a what?
Punisher
logo.
Punisher.
It's a skull, which scares
me
anyway.
It's kind of like the universal sign for being anti-ISIS. Right.
Oh, okay. It's camo with his little patch up there, and I'm like, okay, I got to talk to this guy. He's ugly, but I still, I'm still going to go over and talk to him. And so I went and introduced myself. And I think I've just flat out asked you, hey, you in the prepping or survival?
That's what you do. Anytime you see someone with a camo hat and patch, you look at me and you're like, you think maybe should I go ask him?
Yep. And I went right up and asked you, and you go, and it took you probably didn't notice this, but it took you about 3 seconds to get that answer out. Because, I just walked up to you and you're like, yeah.
Well, no, that's because we'd already met like a year prior, and I was like, he has a horrible memory.
Oh, yeah. I do have a horrible memory. It's awful. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Mm-hmm. And we are live, by the way, just in case you're forgetting.
Great.
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
And that's how we met. And so from that, we became friends. One thing about Kyle, if there's a conspiracy theory anywhere in the world, Kyle knows about it. He's read it and he believes it. And he can prove to me that it's true. And so that's why I don't really get into conspiracy theories. You'll see that I just don't. I just like training people and teaching them what I know. And sometimes I can't because they know more than I do. But Kyle, he likes these chemtrails. He likes everything. And, I just tell him that's crap. I don't believe in that. And he then shows me stuff, and I just still, a lot of times just to get him mad, I'm like, you're just an idiot.
Well, I think everything deserves. Well, we'll say you think it's conspiracy theory. I'll say some things are conspiracy theory. Some things are conspiracy fact. Some things are actually declassified using the Freedom of Information Act, and they're out there for people to read. So I definitely think people need, just beyond their prepping, they need an education as to why things are happening, what's going on. I think that kind of falls back on.
I give you a hard time more than anything because some of the things I know that, I don't believe that all conspiracy theories are false by any stretch of imagination. Yeah. But just when I look at you and I say, you're full of crap, and you look at me like, almost like you're about to befriend me in life. Like if there was a check button on me, you would hit it.
Check.
So, I see there's things going on in the chat room. I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to focus on the mic and chat. But, so let's get back to the American Prepper Network that the Carolina Preppers Network that I created. So it grew over time. We have some big meetings. We've had 80 plus people, and the friendships that have come through that. And I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to do a live radio show on just how to start it, what to expect, and how to promote it, because I've been promoting it. People don't have a clue that come on how to promote it through things like Craigslist or other ads, how they find us, and they just don't know. I've just kind of kept it kind of secret, but I'm going to share that because some of my best friends now are preppers. And that was a decision that I made that, hey, 5 years ago, I had good friends. We would go out, we would hang, but our commons, we just didn't have a lot of things in common. So I strategically replaced my friends with people that I had things in common with. And I know that sounds mean, but I would rather hang out with people that we have like ideas, and that's what I've done. So the Carolina Prepper Network has expanded. We're now in 7 cities. We have meetups in 7 cities. We have we're over 1,700 members total that have actually joined my meetup. Not all of them come, of course, but they've joined. And we have them in, I'll just tell you the cities, Hickory, North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and Greenville, South Carolina. And they're growing. And my goal is to bring good education, qualified teachers that can come and share their skills and unite the preppers. Not that we're going to try to take over the world, but to just better educate and to give people an outlet. When I was a closet prepper, it was tough because I just couldn't. When I bought the coolest thing on the internet, or I was one of the idiots that bought one of them. Is it Katadyn filters?
Oh yeah. For
$375 because I didn't know any better.
Ouch.
I still have it. I've never used it.
eBay.
I need to do that. And I just didn't know. I couldn't talk to anyone about it. And so, but it was such a relief when I could actually sit in a room, a restaurant, sit across the table, and I go, hey, guys, have y'all seen the Sawyer filter, the water filter? And they go, oh, yeah, we got some of them. And it's such a relief to be able to talk to people. And that's what the Carolina Prepper Network does. It allows people to meet other preppers. I'm not trying to form, even though many groups have formed, like MAG groups or survival groups, they call them. Many have formed. That's not really my goal. Matter of fact, the last one I've tried to put together with the Carolina Prepper Network here in Charlotte, 40 people went to be in it, which is not too many people, but it ended up with about 17, and the other ones were like, why did you put us with that group? I'm like, well, it was your choice. But anyway, so I'm not going to try to really place groups. I've learned a lesson there. You don't place people. You have to know them. You have to be with them. You have to live with them. You have to just do things, life with them before you get that intimate with people. That's a lesson learned. But the Carolina Prepper Network, let me tell you what we had last night. We've grown. We've got sponsors. I have sponsors, which I'm going to, but the Carolina Prepper Network has sponsors. We have a local gun shop here that, pays money to advertise his business. And he tells me it's the best investment he's ever made in advertising. I have a realty guy. It's Retreat Realty. I'll go ahead and say it. He's out of Black Mountain, North Carolina. He helps preppers find land. He tells me that this is one of the best investments he's ever had. And then I have personal sponsors. I have Sawyer. I mentioned Sawyer. I bought the cat. They're a personal sponsor of mine. Sunjack. So we'll get into that as the broadcast goes along. But right now, I think we need to take a commercial break. We have G-Man, our producer, in the studios, and he's telling me it's commercial break. So I'll be right back in a couple minutes.
Hey, I'm Joe Alton, MD. I'm here to remind you that disasters can happen anytime, anywhere, and you need to know what to do in an emergency. The new 2016 third edition of the Survival Medicine Handbook is the essential guide for when medical help is not on the way. The Survival Medicine Handbook covers every issue you'll face in times of trouble, and it's all in plain English. Get the Survival Medicine Handbook at Amazon.com. I guarantee one day you'll be glad you did.
Where can you find the best in food storage, water purification, heirloom seeds, medical, health, and emergency supplies? LifeReliance.com. What do Mountain House, Legacy Foods, Guardian, Wise Foods, and Relief Foods have in common? LifeReliance.com. Who has the lowest prices, special offers, and free consultation to help you develop an emergency preparedness plan that makes sense for your family? LifeReliance.com. Why would Life Reliance do all this? We are family, owned and operated. Let our family help you and your family be prepared. Visit us at LifeReliance.com or call 520-425-9771.
We have exciting news. You can now afford to have your own freeze dryer. That's right, for the first time ever, it's possible to have a freeze dryer in your home. It was invented right here in America by Harvest Right. With this new appliance, you can freeze dry your own food and it will last 25 years. Imagine freeze drying fruit, vegetables, meat, and your own homemade meals. It's as easy to use as a microwave. Learn more about this amazing home freeze dryer at harvestright.com. Again, that's harvestright.com.
TheWonderMill.com, the best grain mills on the market, with the ability to mill several items that many grain mills will not. There are 2 grain mills to choose from. The Wonder Mill Electric. It's fast and gives you a vast variety of items it can grind. The Wonder Junior Hand Grain Mill can grind a wide variety of things that even some of the most expensive hand grain mills cannot, including oily grains, nuts, and seeds. Learn more about the most resourceful tool that you may ever own. See all the exciting things that Wonder Mill can do for you and what you eat at TheWonderMill.com.
Hey, welcome back. We were just talking. He's like, man, you're rambling. You are the worst host ever. Okay, he didn't say that. Hey, I do want to remind everyone, if you're at Blog Talk Radio, jump over to prepperbroadcasting.com and join us in the chat room. Again, we'll be here every Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I know that on the website, they always have, Pacific Coast time. I'm not on the Pacific Coast. So,
thank God.
So that's, so also I want to give you guys some links as well. If you are in the Carolinas, if you're in Virginia, you can come as well, but, or Georgia if you're close, but, you can connect to all our prepper meetup groups by going to CarolinaPreppersNetwork.com. And I think maybe someone will post that in the forum. And there it has a link to all our all our meetup groups, their Facebook pages. Great place to get connected. That's CarolinaPreppersNetwork.com. So come on, someone posted in there. Also, you can call in. We probably won't take any questions tonight. It's my first broadcast. So, but you can call in. I do want to give the number 347-202-0228, and you can listen. But you probably aren't listening to me where you are. But next week we'll do some call-ins. As you can see, I enjoy talking. Not saying I'm good at it.
No, you can fill some time.
I can fill some time. I lead our Prepper Network meetups a lot of times, and I do have a couple friends that are in the chat room I got to have a shout out with, because these are some of my best friends in the world, and I'm glad they are not talking smack about me, but I am glad they're in there. It seems to be supporting me. We've got Snow Ski Dude, which is I love that guy to death. He is awesome. His first name is Bruce. And we got Joe Face. Guess what his first name is?
Joe.
Face. No. It's Joe. Joe, and the other one is the Berkshire Homestead guy. These two guys I am living my life with these guys. They are awesome. They have helped me so many times. And we campfires, we just sit around and talk. And they help me plan for the Carolina Preppers Network, and they are I cannot thank them enough to help me in all that they've done. Is there anyone else in there I know? I don't know. There's Highlander. I've never met Highlander, though. He's just one of the hosts on Monday nights. So, you were going to ask me a question. What was it?
So let's talk a little bit more about the actual meetup groups. We've had some pretty neat meetup groups.
Oh, yeah.
And it varies, 50 to 100 people. Sometimes there's been more.
Mm-hmm.
Last night was really great, but kind of go over just what we've had over the past few months.
Oh, yeah. So our meetup groups, so some of the topics we cover are some of the topics that I cover in my Survival Academy. And a lot of times I'll just teach the class for free, or I'll bring in people that know a heck of a lot more than I do on a subject. I know a couple weeks ago, or months ago, we had the Mecklenburg County beekeeper president.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy was the absolutely genius in beekeeping. His name is Jerry Mack. He came in and taught us everything about. I learned more about bees in that night than I ever needed to know, I think. But I do want to do bees. I am going to do bees one day. I just don't. I do rabbits, but not bees. But then we have a lady. She goes by the name of Elemental. She makes herbs and tinctures, and she can cure anything with like a tree or a leaf. It's amazing. I don't understand it. It would take me 50,000 years and like 40 million terabytes to remember what she has to offer. But I try to pick up nuggets every now and then. But she is amazing. Matter of fact, people will actually come to my meetup when she's coming, just so they can see her and ask her questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a nice advantage about actually having a physical place to go and meet up with people as opposed to just being on a forum. If you're on a forum, you might jot down a few notes, save a PDF or something like that. But when you actually go to these meetings and you actually get to taste, what was that one drink she had? It was like fire mountain something, some sort of fermented thing.
It lit me up on fire.
Yeah, exactly. But then you're more likely to be like...
The next day I grew a leg. Wait.
But then you're more likely to actually go out there and start doing stuff as opposed to just being a keyboard warrior.
Mm-hmm. And Joe and Bruce that are in the forum, they help me teach. You helped me teach one night on bug out bags. Yeah, my bug out bag was like 26 pounds. Yours is like 319.
But I can carry mine.
Yeah, and there's no gray man with that bag.
No.
All camo, guns sticking out 6 different ways.
338 Lapua Magnum.
Yeah. We got a different bugging out gray man you bug out, but do you have like a portable house in there as well?
I'm working on it.
Working on it. Okay. So let me tell you who we had last night. Last night we had Dr. William Fortune. Yes, this is the William Fortune that wrote 1 Second After, 1 Year After, Day of Wrath, Sky's a Pillar or something like that?
He wrote a ton of books.
#1 bestsellers. He is one of the leading experts on societies collapsing, on EMPs. Newt Gingrich. He's written 8 or 9 books with Newt Gingrich.
Like that, yeah.
Did you really also wrote? You remember Wing Commander?
Yeah, I noticed that whenever
he wrote Wing Commander books, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. And that was one of the first video fighting games I ever played as well. It's called Wing Commander. Anyway, with Dr. William Fortune there, I counted 87 people. A friend of mine counted 94. I think he counted the kids. We had 94 in a restaurant in Matthews, North Carolina. Dr. Fortune spoke about 30 minutes. Then he took questions from everyone, signed everyone's book. Amazing man. I wanted to pay him. He would not take anything. The only thing he required was I buy his dinner. Him and his wife.
Yeah.
Because his wife came, newly married. And it was an amazing conversation. It was question answering. But we wanted to pay for his gas money, and he wouldn't let me. He would not even take it. So you only ask a few times, but anyway, we had 94 people. They got, I didn't even get my book signed. Everyone, was standing in line, getting their book signed, and, their hat signed, their backs. Okay, not all that, but he was very intimate, and took questions, talked to people afterwards. I'm speaking with him at Prepper Camp in September. Preppercamp.com. It's in Saluda, North Carolina. He's the keynote. I'm just teaching one of the classes, but he's the keynote. And so maybe I'll get him to sign my book then. But on 3 books. I got, 2, because Day of Wrath is, I think, digital only. I don't think it's paper.
I don't know
either. But So we're bringing in quality people. He's also agreed to come to my Greensboro and my Greenville group as well. He doesn't like Myrtle Beach. I mean, it's a 6-hour drive for him, maybe more.
Yeah,
so,
485 was tough enough, I think.
He complained about the traffic in Charlotte. Our 485 is bypass around Charlotte, North Carolina. He pretty much said if the EMP happens, there's no way in heck we're getting out.
No. If you're in Charlotte, good luck.
Yeah, you're screwed if you're in Charlotte. Can I say that? I guess I can. Yeah. So we try to have educational meetups. Sometimes, and so what we do is for the first hour is more social. It's just 100% social. People will come and eat, and you get to know people, get to talk, and I mean, you can see, well, I won't say cliques, but friendships are forming, which are amazing, which is exactly kind of the point of it. The point of it is less learning skills, because you can learn skills on University? What do they call it?
YouTube University.
YouTube University, yeah. You can learn skills there. But you can, to talk to someone live, to ask them questions, and build a friendship. That's what's amazing about it. But
we've met some really interesting people just within the past two. And there's one young lady who has come, and it amazes me to talk to some of these people about what brings them to the Charlotte area. I can't remember her name, but I know she said she just left New York.
Oh, yeah, Michelle, I think it is.
Yeah, just up and left, was praying about it, fasting, and she felt coming here was, where the Lord was leading her. There's a lot of preppers out there who I've met over the past 4 or 5 years that just say they're being guided down in this area. Maybe not necessarily Charlotte, but within the outskirts in this area.
You met your brother from a different mother last night, it seemed like, because I looked over and you were talking to this one. Y'all talk. That was the first time you met him, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And y'all, I could see that y'all. It was a love fest or a bromance going on.
A little romance. Well, we had a beard too, so.
Yeah, he had a beard too, and I kept looking over. I'm like, well, because you just don't go and talk to people unless there's a connection or something in interest. You know.
And that's one of the great things about the meetups is you actually get to meet these people, and you might see someone on a forum, and I might say Joe Face, and I was like, who picked that username? I don't think I'm going to contact this guy.
Joe's awesome. I don't know what the Joe Face is, though. I don't know. I don't have a cool prepper name.
Well, I told you earlier what we were going to go with.
See, I tried to. I went to a few of my friends. I'm like, okay, I'm going to, be on the radio, or I'm going to do this, or the Prepper Academy, which we need to talk about.
Yeah.
I need a cool name, and they just. No. Friends are not the best people to ask for a cool name.
Well, I'm telling you, McGarvin, I think, is what we're going to go with.
Well, I told you in the Air Force, one time I was on a C-130. This is real. I'm not making this stuff up now. We lost all communications on a C-130 in a real mission. We hardly ever lose communication. But this was a real mission. This is no lie. You can call my friends. I took a piece of Juicy Fruit gum wrapper because the fuse kept blowing. So what I did is I ran new power lines to the back of the radio. This is no lie. The pins, I actually pulled them out because something was wrong with the power going to all our radios. So I hijacked a power going to one of our other radar units, put it into the back of the radio. The fuse was blown. And so I took Juicy Fruit gum wrapper, the foil, wrapped it around the fuse, stuck it in the VHF radio, twisted it, it turned, and it came on and worked the entire mission. We had communications.
And we just got a sponsorship from Juicy Fruit.
Juicy Fruit. That is no lie. And from that point in the Air Force, they called me McGarvin because MacGyver was a big show then. And so
your hair's kind of similar.
And they're coming out with the new MacGyver. I don't know if it's a movie or show.
I think it's a show.
It's a show?
Yeah.
So Gump. Okay, Bruce, that's not even Joker. Yeah. Okay. Delete. How can I delete these people? No, I'm kidding. So you were going to ask me about the Prepping Academy. That's what you said.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, the Prepping. If you go to our website, it's not there. See, the goal was to build up content. Then open up the Prepping Academy, and do a membership base where you train them. I would have interaction through Google, what's that called? The meetups or whatever, Google Live Video and all that.
I don't even have Facebook.
Groups, whatever it is, Google Groups, whatever. And have and so you would actually be a member, and I would train you in every aspect and walk you through every aspect of your prepping. You would have someone to talk to. And I would charge you a small fee for that. I'm still going to do that. But what happened was this opportunity for a national radio broadcast network on Friday nights at 9 o'clock came way before I was ready. So Bruce, which is online, y'all give him a hard time right now. He's the Homestead guy. He's supposed to be working on a logo for me because my logo, everyone tells me, stinks. But anyway, he has yet to do that. But so this academy is going to be you a member, which means gives you a direct link to me and all my teaching friends, and we're going to help you. We're going to walk through. Just the radio broadcast came way before we were ready, so that's still in works. We're still producing. We're doing, and it's different. We're going to change a few things. I think this is. I love this idea. I'm going forward with it. So if you want to learn fire starting, we're going to take you from step 1 to step 50, if there's 50 steps, and train you. Then to prove to me, because you signed up for that class, you're going to videotape yourself building a fire, different methods. You're going to explain what's going on, and then I'm going to certify you that you know what you're talking about. Now, and then we're going to do that for every little mini skill. Then once you build up your skills, you can become, I'm going to certify you as a survival instructor / survival or a prepper instructor. There's nothing like that. I want people to have the skills. There's so many people that come to our meetup group that they learn their skills from YouTube University. They don't know how to do it. Or they're not very proficient at it. They can't teach it. So that's some of the things I'm going to help people do. That's the goal.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything like that.
No, not that I can think. I mean, there's guys out there who have YouTube channels, have companies where they'll do something as far as, consulting, but it's either ridiculously expensive or they're so secluded that you're not going to have the time, the money, the opportunity to really get out there.
Yep. So, like NRA, you have tests that you have to take, be proficient to become an NRA instructor. In any martial art, I don't care what it is, you have levels, and you got to be proficient, and you've got to practice, learn, and demonstrate that you know a level before they're going to give you the next belt. Well, in survival instruction, which is a lifesaver, that can save people's life. And in the prepping world, there's nothing like that. So one of the things that we're trying to do, I'm working with Ken Jensen. He has a podcast, several other survival prepper people out in the industry, is to put together an association where we would actually be the association that would certify people when their skills, they could demonstrate that they know the skills proficiently and can teach them. We think that's just good for the community. Now, there's a lot of people that, I'm not going to go to Bear Grylls and say, dude, you got to get certified in my academy. That's not going to happen. But actually, one of the instructors from his school is on the committee that's helping me do this. So some people would be automatically, written in. You don't go, somebody. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. I feel that the prepping and survival will become mainstream in the next few years. I can see it happening. My meetup groups, if you look on meetup.com, all my meetup groups are like in the top. They're all in the top of the. If you do the most active, which there's a secret to do that, all my meetup groups are in the most active. And I want to teach other people how to do that in their areas as well, But I think prepping and survival skills, and this is going to become more mainstream because America's starting to suck. Can I say that?
Yeah.
I mean, things are getting bad. I mean, with the terrorist acts that's going on with the government, I have no hope in our government whatsoever. I'm not disbanding my government, but I don't like Hillary and I don't like Trump. I'm going to vote for Trump, but he would not. I could think of about 775 people that I would rather have than Trump, but he's the best we have. And so with that, I just can't see things getting better financially. I don't see things getting better. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Peter Lynch. I don't care who it is. He's the Wall Street genius that, I don't think anyone can save us, our economy.
No, I don't think Ron Paul can save us at this point.
I don't. It has to be a total reset.
Yeah.
And a reset is bad for everyone.
Well, it's good for some people because who prospers whenever there is a reset? People with skills.
True. You mean I might be the next president?
You're finally going to be worse than
No. Oh, you know how many times I've ever thought, side trail, if there's a grid down, we would be some of the most important people in our area because we would know how to survive if the other people didn't kill us to eat us. You know what I mean?
Way to think positive.
I know. Hey guys, we only have a couple minutes left, but I just hope you guys will join us every Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you're listening on the podcast, you can find us. Go to iTunes. You can subscribe to the podcast. It's called Prepper Broadcasting Network. In iTunes, I actually think it's called the Prepper Broadcasting Network. Just search it in iTunes. And so just subscribe, listen to us every week, download it. What is going on here, G-Man? But anyway, I'm not looking for fans.
You already cut.
But we're looking we're just looking for a community here online. So, you got any last final words?
No. Talk more next time.
No, you gotta say something. Come on.
No, I think it was really good. Definitely. Okay, we still got one more minute.
It says we got one more minute. So, go check out the Carolina Preppers Network. If you're in Montana, do not join. Seriously, I'll help you start one there. We'll one of the shows coming up. Also, good news. William Fortune has agreed to come on not once, not twice, but like 5 times. He said he'll do anything he can to help me be successful. And so to be successful, you just bring on bigger names. And so that's exciting. So in about 2-3 weeks, he'll be online with us. I'm live on Friday night. But Kyle, man, I appreciate you sitting across from me and helping me do this. Next week we'll talk more about you, I guess.
You're going to give me that 20 an hour later.
Yeah. And you're not getting paid for this, by the way. So, guys, again, join us. And we will see you guys next week.
Today's broadcast has come to you through the courtesy of the Prepper Broadcasting Network. See our hosts, show schedules, archived programs, and more at prepperbroadcasting.com. Thanks for listening.
Bobby, you here again?
Yeah, my doctor told me to reduce stress at work, so I come to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch and watch sports. I get to pick one of 7 entrees, like sandwiches and salads, plus one of 7 sides.
Well, I like sides.
It's so affordable I can finally take a vacation.
Where you gonna go?
Here, Tim, here.
Introducing the new B-Dubs Fast Break Lunch Menu, starting at a new low price. Dine in or order takeout weekdays between 11 and 2. Participation and availability may vary. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
The deals are getting hotter during the Deere days of summer. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all John Deere compact tractors. Plus, get a best-in-class 6-year powertrain warranty at no additional cost. Hurry in today for the hot deals of summer. Offer ends August 2nd, 2016, subject to approved installment credit with John Deere Financial. Terms, conditions, exclusions, and warranty limitations apply. See dealer for details.
Visit your local John Deere dealer today to take advantage of special savings going on now. Find out more at myjohndeeredealer.com.
Has your data been hacked? Do you feel uneasy about the vulnerability of your personal information online? Were you involved in the Target, LinkedIn, or Microsoft data leaks? Don't know? If not, then pay attention. Join Forrest Garvin from PrepperNet for a free webinar on privacy and security. Gain insights into safe internet browsing, VPNs, crafting online aliases, secure emails, detecting if your data has been hacked, and managing passwords. Secure your spot today for this webinar on privacy and security. It's free. This webinar delves into comprehensive strategies for bolstering your online privacy. We've got you covered, from fortifying your passwords to shielding your financial information and mastering state-of-the-art encryption techniques. We're offering 2 convenient dates to suit your schedule. Reserve your spot now at preppernet.com/privacy. Don't let cyber threats erode your peace of mind any longer. Take the first step toward a safer, more secure online experience by joining us for our free webinar. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to safeguarding your privacy. Sign up now at preppernet.com/privacy. We'll see you there.